This is Work with Purpose by Vegan Journal. In this series, we highlight vegan businesses creating meaningful work through compassion and purpose. I'm Hannah Kaminsky, and today I'm in Austin, Texas, with the founder of Crafty Counter. I've been a fan of Crafty Counter for many years, and even in that short amount of time, I've seen a lot of different versions of the company. And I was wondering if you could share a little bit about that journey and how you landed where you did.
I was in the corporate world for a little under 15 years, a very fulfilling career, raised two kids. But a part of me always kept going back to, you get one life. What are we going to do with this life? And how do we leave a better planet for the next generation? How do we set as an example as a current generation? How do we inspire the next, right? So all those questions combined with, what am I really good at? What makes my heart sing? And food, like a lot of people, either gets them to have a conversation, everybody coming together in the kitchen, or brings people together across boundaries and barriers. But it's also the essence. It's what fuels a human body. So everything that we have been through on this journey is just a respect to being human. How do we respect that, and how do we give back to the people and the communities around us? What can I do as a person with what I'm good at, with what makes my heart sing? Cooking makes my heart sing. And how do we make a difference or move the needle in just bringing more plants to a person's life? Make it fun, make it wonderful in crafty ways. And so the journey is just a testament to how my belief system, my faith, and the just deep desire to give back. As it's $1 trillion industry in the US, but a lot of it has been driven by capitalism. Not enough of it to see it as fuel or food as medicine. That is the aspect we're trying to, that's the underlying current. And of course, at the forefront of it is, let's stop and think, what are we doing? What are we feeding our bodies, right? So just stop, pause, think, but more importantly, make it easier for better choices, for somebody to pick, okay, this is what I should be eating, this is what I want to eat to feel better.
That really should be the goal of packaged foods, and I feel like that gets lost a lot. And people are just trying to make a profit, but it's really about making these foods that are better for you more accessible when it's done right.
Yes. And if you go back to the simplicity of what should be on a package, you said something, really important. Is better is good foods, better for you foods. If you go back to, this is what is my North Star, is I want to eat simple foods. If you understand that, if that becomes a part of what drives your decisions in the grocery store, it all just comes together. It just really does come together. It's like what they say, the universe will make it happen if you want it deep enough, but you have to want to happen. If you have to want it. And so we're just here trying to fulfill that need and make people curious.
So I remember in the beginning you were making nuggets.
Yes,
was it?
yes. So you've been, how long have you been vegan?
Oh gosh, put me on the spot here. I think 25 years.
See, I'm an infant compared to you. It's been only 5 years.
Not contest.
Yeah, right. It's not. But I am a live testament to bringing attention to the fact that so many of us that care about food and nutrition still don't understand our food choices, how it is directly related to climate change, greenhouse gas emissions, animal cruelty, equity in the plants that make this food itself. But I grew up in India. And so in India, we used to eat meat once a week on Sundays. And that's how I was raised. And I came to the US about 25 years ago. And when I came here, I was seeing that it was the opposite. You couldn't picture a meal without a piece of meat on your plate. And I'm like, that's kind of strange. It was foreign to me as an immigrant. And before I knew, I was also doing the same thing. When you go out or when you're making, I'm like, what is happening? This doesn't feel right. It doesn't. And so when I became a mom, I was like, I'm not going to do this. My kids need to eat more vegetables. That's what my parents did for me. They stressed the importance of fruits and vegetables and beans and legumes. And there was always some kind of lentil brewing on the stove. And so the first product, Wonder Nuggets, was because it just pained me to see the amount of meat we're eating as humans. And I was like, well, how can I have people eat less meat? So at the time in 2017, 2018, my goal was to bring more plants. And that has been the ethos since day one. Let's eat more plants. So we did that as okay, let's take half the chicken out in a chicken nugget and put chickpeas and cabbage and cauliflower so that we're sneaking the vegetables into a person's meal. And then as a part of that, I found out more because I wanted to get good quality chicken, and it was so hard to get good quality chicken at prices that would work on the shelf, for the end consumer to buy these healthy nuggets. Wonder Nuggets was what it's called. But also, I realized that oh my gosh, this is how poultry is being raised in the country. I had no idea there's something called intensive animal agriculture. So that's when my eyes were just opened to the damage it's causing. To not just the whole process is so cruel, but the amount of rainforests that are being cleared up in the Amazon to just make feed for our poultry and cattle. And at that point, I was like, well, this is not right. Like, I can't do this half effort. I have to go all the way because I stopped. I just genuinely was worried about if our next generation will have clean air or water. Then what are we doing? Um, so then I was like, okay, well, I can't be part of the problem anymore. We have to be part of the solution and go all the way. So I went vegan. My kids went along with me on the journey. So now you see, Rashan is vegan and he's part of the journey very much. So that was a transition from being a chicken nugget based company to a vegan egg, because when we stopped eating meat, that's when I realized that there's no eggs, there's a need for variety of choices in eggs. But yeah, it was a Wonder Nugget, starting a chicken nugget, that led to unlocking the door to a vegan egg. Hey, we are all on this journey, right, having this human experience. So
Absolutely. And I was going to say that, like, everyone has their own way of getting there. As long as you're open to having the conversation and
yeah,
like considering the possibilities that
yeah,
there could be a different way to do this,
yeah.
that's what matters.
Hmm.
And I also really love your approach that it's always adding, not reducing it. You're not taking away from people. You're trying
Yeah,
to introduce them to more things and
yeah,
different things.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. It is about not judging anybody. Nobody likes to be told what to eat. Our message has always been, let's make it fun, interesting, welcoming, because plants are fun,
They should be.
right?
Right? I
That's
mean,
really the whole
they're so
thing.
vibrant, they're so flavorful.
Yes,
I can't imagine a plate without plants. When
yeah.
people say like, "Oh, there's no meat in there, it's not a meal," it's like it's completely opposite.
With Wonder Eggs, what we're saying is, it just makes you feel wonderful. That's it.
It's just another option.
Another option. Mix it up. Mix it up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's for everyone. I love
For
that.
everyone. Yes, exactly. It's convenient. It's fun, and when we tell our customers that when you're eating Wonder Eggs, hard-boiled Wonder Eggs, it's a box of nuts in the form of an egg because it's almonds and cashews, right?
Right? No, it's great. It's all real ingredients.
Yeah, that's
I know this would be a long story, but the abridged version. How does one get into the CPG space?
it. Starts with, well, of course, what is the problem you're trying to solve? The solution is not about the solution. I'll say it is about the problem. Is it big enough? Is it deep enough? Does it hurt you? You know, if you're starting with this is where the market is going, this is the hot trend, you're going to crash and burn unless you're extremely lucky, and that is very rare and seldom happens. It starts with a deep desire. That desire will take you through the lows, because the lows are really low, Hannah. The highs are fleeting and momentary, but the lows just drag you down so much. It is of all the industry verticals that I've seen, software, technology, you name it, right? Automotive, pharmaceutical, CPG, consumer packaged goods, is the most excruciatingly hard and difficult. It's the system, the margins, the everything about the brand starting a food company is there's so much out of your control. Is you got to start with, okay, is this painful? Do I want to solve it? And at that point, it is about really being diligent about doing your research, which is very capital intensive. So if you want to start, identify the problem. Know that it's going to take a lot of capital. Even if you start small, there will be a time when you can't be small anymore. So the first thing I'll tell anybody that wants to start a CPG brand is be prepared that it's going to take a significant amount of capital. Being profitable is just so hard. It's not so easy. You think you'd make a margin, but it's not so easy unless you get to maybe 10, 15 million run rate. Even then, it's very hard unless you are vertically integrated with your manufacturing and have total control over every aspect of the business, which is kind of hard. You still have to work with suppliers, logistics, trucking companies, and so on. But start with your why on what pain point you're solving. What is the fastest and cheapest way to solve it?
Without compromising.
Without compromising, exactly, the ingredients. And find your people. Like, you're my people.
It takes a village, and I hear that again and again. No matter what business you're in, you need to have the community and you need support. It's not just one person.
No, I mean, that is so well said. Because when we launched, if you can imagine, right, the mindset, the thought that, okay, I'm going to make a hard-boiled egg. It's a very niche thing. It's not a scramble. It's not a liquid egg. It's a hard-boiled egg.
There is nothing else on the market that I know of that fills that space.
Yeah, true, very true. So it is a gap. It troubles me. I had this desire that I want to create options in this gap, right, to solve it. At the same time, we have no idea if anybody will like it. I spent 2 years just trying to compromise, like not compromising the color we use to color our eggs, the turmeric. We've been through so many different coloring companies. So many people said it's impossible because you have to add these dyes or whatever, because otherwise the color is gonna sweep over to the egg whites. But I was like, no. People with PhDs told me that you can't do it, and I said, no, I'm gonna figure this out. Finally, I did. But when you launch a product, you don't know if anybody's gonna like it. All you could do is just know that there is a gap. People want it, and when you launch it, within 45 days, it was viral. We didn't spend a single dollar on marketing or influencers. Like, we don't do paid, media, because we want to find our people, not by buying them. Of course, we want to appreciate everybody that spends the time and effort, and we want to recognize that. But at the same time, for a product like this, we need to see if there are people that will get behind it. Oh boy. I mean, there were thousands of reviews and millions of impressions within 45 to 60 days. And I was just sitting there. I was shocked. I couldn't believe my eyes or ears that how is this happening? How are these people making 2-minute, 3-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute videos talking about how they found WunderEggs, and they're telling everybody about it.
So in developing a product, there is a lot of creativity that comes with that. But as you've mentioned, there's also all of the business needs. There's manufacturing, distribution. How do you balance all of those separate components?
I don't.
Honest truth.
It is a madhouse. It is chaotic. It is stressful, because if you can pay, you can take a whole truck out and they're stopped somewhere and you've got perishable product on it. Something breaks. They said, well, it's broken. I can't move the truck. And good luck trying to get that money back or fighting with this trucking company, because they are designed so that the broker that you're working with will say, well, we work with carriers. And so they create all these silos where nobody wants to take any accountability, and you still have to take the losses. So these, no matter how well you plan, things break all the time. Things are out of your control. You're working with several third-party companies, be it ingredients. I mean, you order really high quality organic cashews, but the place that they're stored in, if the warehouse had a temperature, because most of these cashews are grown in the East Asia, Vietnam, Thailand, India, and it goes from a harvest to a processing center for cleaning, and then a distribution center. It changes warehouses, right? So that the distribution and logistics is complicated. It's a global thing, and if there is a warehouse that didn't have any, they had a breakage in their cooling systems, and the warehouse was hot, and for 2 weeks the cashews was sitting in 90-degree weather, they get rancid, right? But then they turn it back on, and they're not going to tell you that some warehouse somewhere broke. and you're eating your cashews, and it's the same supplier, and suddenly they don't taste right, and there's an off taste in the cashews. They're still good, they're not expired, but it's high quality nut, which it's got high quality oils in it. Oil goes rancid if you don't track it. So again, nothing you can do, and it is a very complicated matrix environment. Manufacturing the same deal, most brands have to rely on contract manufacturers, and I can't tell you the number of times, even if they will mess up the product and they won't give you money back. They say, you don't pay up, then I'm not going to make the next batch of eggs for you. And what are you going to do? You can't tell Whole Foods or Safeway that I can't fulfill the next PO because we're disputing. They don't care. They're like, our shelf is empty. You fill it or you're out.
Yeah, that sounds like my nightmare. And I also feel like customers don't really think about the variability in whole, real foods.
Yeah.
Like this isn't made in some lab, and they expect consistency every single time. But they don't understand like the variance between flavors and harvests. And you need to manage those expectations and put out the same quality every time.
Yeah. So it is tricky, but this is why it comes down to your people. And if they're patient, if they bought a tray and it was not right, will they go back and buy it again? And now we're in year 3 since we launched this in January 2023. And luckily, I mean, our customers have seen it all. Like there's been times when it was so hot last year in the summertime, and the manufacturing plant did not turn the fans to the extent they should have. They cut corners, right? And we don't even learn about that until some customer will be like emailing us, the eggs were good, but they were kind of slimy this time. The good news is when I see those emails, the first sentiment I get is gratitude. They didn't have to email us. You know how much time it takes for somebody to eat the egg, take pictures, send an email saying it was not right. Imagine how many products we consume every single day, right? If we were to email about every email complaint or something was not right,
it's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job, right? But so for somebody to say that, it helps us so much, because when we saw those emails come in 2 weeks in a row, immediately we were like, what is going on?
It's really helpful just to meet the company where they are and tell them like, what's going on? This wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Like I've loved your product, and I want to support you. And I think that goes a long way, even beyond just the actual monetary value of I'm buying your product, I want to support the company.
Yeah.
It's like I'm part of the team. Can we figure out what's going wrong?
Yeah. And that sentiment keeps on coming through, Hannah. And I'm so blessed. I mean, I feel as a founder operator, I'm blessed to have this opportunity to serve our customers. And as a business, like it is extremely, it's extremely gratifying and humbling to see that, okay, well, something went wrong. Our order was delayed, 2 months delayed. And our customers are just like, no, don't cancel it. They'll wait. Without that kind of brand loyalty and that forgiving nature, because we're all connected with purpose, right? We're all connected with the common thread that we want to eat more plants, and we want to support businesses that are making it more accessible to bring plants in different ways and cover these gaps that you referred to earlier. Without that, we would not be here. Year 1, 6 months would be dead.
I know you brought a lot of new products to the shelf lately. Is there anything that you want to really highlight that you're excited about?
Can I highlight 2?
Oh, please, no limit.
Okay, well, we recently launched the protein scramble. So this is chorizo and egg protein scramble. It has ready-to-eat scrambled egg. The reason why I'm so excited about it is because right now everybody's talking about protein and fiber, but protein alone is not enough. We need to have protein and fiber. So I've been looking, since I started the company, I've always been looking for sources of protein. Finally, we found it in hemp hearts. Not hemp, not the way people think about hemp and so on, but this is actually hemp hearts, the seed inside the inside of the hemp seed. It is such a strong source of protein and fiber and all 6 omegas, 9 essential amino acids, and omega-3, omega-6, and 9 essential amino acids. That's what you would eat an egg for, primarily, right? And so we're able to bring that in a hot food format where you open the cup and you're eating it bite by as it is, or putting it in a taco or a sandwich, So that I'm excited about. And then the same ingredient we use to make a protein bun. So the like I said earlier, we have to make it fun and convenient. So this is a ready to eat bun. So you take it out of the box, it's individually wrapped in a foil, and you just, bite in and it's ready to go.
Yeah, hemp is incredibly versatile.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if everyone is really familiar with everything it can do because hemp can make paper, hemp can make clothing.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, it
Yeah.
can make paper and clothing.
And
Huh.
it's incredibly sustainable.
This is
It's great for the
fiber.
planet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and this is our job as people that are in the space. This is an opportunity to shed some light into the areas or plant species that are overlooked.
Hmm.
So that I consider as part of my mission, because there are. I mean, we've always worked with seitan and soy, right? Tofu. Those are all great sources as well. We talk about flax and chia seeds. We talk about beans and lentils and legumes. There's not enough conversation about hemp hearts.
I feel like this is really both the challenge and the asset of
Mm.
your company, of your brand, that you're creating things that don't exist. You're filling gaps. It's completely new. If someone is interested in this, they have to go to you. But there's also a lot of education that needs to go
Mhm.
into that to explain what this is and why people want that, why
Mhm.
that needs to be filled.
Mm. And so going forward from here on, that is one thing that we need to do better and more of. Is like, why hemp hearts? There's been some posts that we have had on social media, but through the summer and for the rest of the year, what my team and I are working on is, let's get out there, let's meet our customers. We've got some demos and roadshows coming up through the month of August and for the rest of the year. I'm going out there and going to meet with people. I'd love your help and connecting with the various groups and communities in these cities, to say hi and say thank you, and share a little bit more about why should we eat hemp hearts and why these products can make a difference, not just to them and their bodies, but also to the planet.
So, for someone getting into the CPG space or wanting to be a vegan entrepreneur or just interested in making a vegan business, what advice would you give them?
Brace for impact. I will say, because I don't want to sugarcoat this. It is hard. It's harder than most any other trade. The advice is, always, you have your second income. Do not rely on this. This is not going to pay your bills. Number one, because without financial stability, you're just dying a slow death. I'll keep the conversation coming back to, either you're connected with with a funding arm or a venture capital firm, which is also like, don't raise capital too soon, right? Because then you lose control of the company, and before you know, somebody else is calling the shots. So figure out your supply chain. Your pricing has to be locked in. Know very well that you're not going to be profitable right out the gate unless you spend copious amounts of time in figuring out your margins through e-commerce, your channels. What is your channel matrix, right? Are you going to sell on e-commerce? If you're selling in retail, margins are going to be very hard. On e-commerce, it has to be extremely light, and the shipment has to be very it has to be easy. Perishable shipment is hard. And so figuring out the numbers throughout each step, from manufacturing to fulfillment to warehousing to supply chain, to distribution, and then you have to still promote. You have to still do coupons. Every time you're doing coupons, it's coming out of your margin. So do not rely on this as a livelihood. Not for the first few years, because it's going to be extremely capital intensive. And like I said earlier, raising money too soon from VCs is also kind of a little tricky, unless the VC is your brother-in-law or brother or family member. Um, so, or your sibling or your parents, right? It's just kind of hard to see things the same way because you're the founder operator that's bringing the business to light. Um, and Forbearance. It's hard. It's lonely. It is tough on you. Mental health, your morning routine is absolutely crucial. If I did not have my morning routine and the importance, on stretching, on breathing, on working out, it is not an option. To not work out is not an option, because if your mind, how you start your day and your mindset It basically dictates how your day will be and how you'll deal with everything that comes your way completely out of the woodworks with no heads up. So it's important for you to strengthen your inside, mind, body, soul, to be able to take everything that gets thrown at you. And a lot of it is just unpredictable.
You definitely need to take care of yourself before the business.
Before the business, absolutely. You can't pour from an empty cup, as you say that. I mean, everybody knows that and hears that.
But it doesn't always click.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have to. It's not an option. It's hard, but it's so worth it.
True facts. I really appreciate this conversation.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you.